We each contain multitudes, not just the parts we're proud of, the healer, the teacher, the mystic, but the gambler, the trickster, the tyrant. Every archetype that has ever moved through human experience lives somewhere in you, in me, in all of us. And the shadow isn't the enemy. The light isn't the destination. The middle path, where you can hold the full range with compassionate awareness, that's where we actually get to know ourselves. I'm Kelly, a mystic, a scribe, and many other archetypes besides. And the devotion of my life is looking into this divine mirror of archetypes with full honesty and reflecting that compassion outward. Each video in this series takes one archetype from the Oracle by Carolyn Myss and opens it along 3 threads: the shadow or the low road we've walked, the light, the high road we're seeking or reaching for, and the middle path, the one that can hold both and carry us forward while we carry it along the path of self-mastery. This is the fullness of what it means to be human. This is the archetypal attunement. Hello and welcome to this archetype attunement. Today's video is on the archetype of the destroyer. Jumping right in here to the light attribute, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Shadow attributes, intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. Now, the destroyer card is so much like the death card already, inherently, naturally, because it is. I mean, destruction and death are almost hand in hand a lot of the time. And quite frankly, I love the death energy. I love the destruction energy. It's necessary. It's also so much similar to the tower, this volcano picture here, because sometimes the things, the structures, the things that are established that seem like they're meant to last are actually not. And the pressure that it puts on other parts of the earth or other parts of itself, the strain of staying in existence in that form, is just often challenged by the need for something new. And life is about cycles. So destruction is necessary because nothing can be created anew if there is never anything destroyed. There's not a finite amount of energy, but we need to make room. So I've got a middle path card popping out here, and I've got the Under the Oak Tarot today for this. So we have the 3 of Wands and the Lovers. So interesting. Okay, because the 3 of Wands is the choice-making card. It's like a passionate choice has made, a decision has been made, but not just a decision based on fact. It's like, what do I want kind of a decision? Where am I going? What do I want to do with my life? What drives me? What passion calls me forward? Oh, and this is like a little white goat. Oh, it's so curious. And the rabbit. Do you see the goat and the rabbit? The goat is later on in this deck becomes sort of almost similar to like the devil and the emperor combined in this really cool, deep, dark, masculine archetype. But this white rabbit is curiosity. This is about finding out. This is about finding out what can be. And destruction is part of that. Like, how powerful am I? How powerful am I? What can I break? When you're a kid, you love breaking sticks, ripping grass clumps out, ripping leaves apart, ripping up paper, cutting things, right? This is all destruction. That's all destroyer. It's us practicing our ability to both destroy and create worlds, because that's part of being a creator being, like the divine lover who gave us these bodies and split us into fractal versions of itself, intended for. Made us in its image. Look at this peacock, like Argus. Oh my gosh, with 1,000 eyes. Ah! All right, I've been on some like super mythology spirals lately, and this is just awesome. Okay, so the editing on this is going to be a nightmare because I keep stumbling over my words trying to figure out which is the Roman and which is the Greek in all of this, so I'm just going to say it like this. Jupiter has this human woman, Lo, that he loves and wants to be with. But Jupiter is married, and his wife is very jealous and sends this giant in the form of a peacock, or or something similar, with all these eyes to like make sure there's no infidelity, but like nothing can keep these lovers apart. And so also there's trickery and all these other things. Eventually, there's some really tragic things here, and the human lover, Lo, is destroyed. She's burned. And she was with Jupiter's child, Dionysus. And this is the child in the garden that can celebrate life and death, that can celebrate and hold all of it, that can, oh my gosh, feel the destruction and literally be born of it. That's wild and crazy. Dionysus, Bacchus, you name it. If you've gone down the mythological path, or if you haven't, like, search it, find it, do it. Like, this archetype is so deep. But specifically, this is Dionysus, this is Bacchus, this is like the phoenix born from the ashes, right? If nothing ever burns, then the phoenix can't be reborn. And if the phoenix is just old and feeble and it cannot be destroyed and it cannot rebirth itself, then it never has its full power. It's not living in its potential to actually be and do anything. And the lovers that came out downward, inward, this is like integrating these lovers within yourself, because it's not about connecting with some outside twin flame. Yes, there is that. Yes, it is divine. Yes, it inspires us to be more within ourselves, but it is an inner journey. It always is. It always comes back to there's one person. She is. This is the animus. We're taking a journey with ourselves, and we have to be able to destroy ourselves. We have to be able to destroy different versions of ourselves, especially and namely the ones that won't allow us to choose what we actually want. That's the point I've been trying to get to. We have to be willing to destroy the version of ourselves that we have been in order to become the version that wants to become. We have to destroy the version of us that has been in order to become the version that wants to become, that is to become, that intends to become. What's the shadow road? What trips us up? What's the shadow attribute? How do we get stuck in this shadow path? Wow. All right, I had 4 cards fall out. I want to look at these 2 first before I even go any further. I am trying to keep this here out of the glare. Got to get a better setup for this stuff here. This is amazing. I'm going to set these other 2 aside for a second here because I don't want to overwhelm myself, and there's so much imagery. So this is the Empress in reverse. Wow. See that statue in the back? And the live person in the front. Look at that. That's a memorial. This is a dead thing buried here. This is the dead version of her buried here. And here she, and this, look at that. This is even a gravestone. This is a statue commemorating who she was and what she had to be. And now here's the gravestone with a 0 on it. That's like, here we are, come full circle. And here I am in my divine form, which is very reminiscent of the Harry, Mary, Magdalene. That's another thread I've been down recently. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is divine. Again, it's about dying to ourselves, but the shadow road, the low road, with this coming out with the King of Wands, ooh, and this is going to take his turn for the erotic in a minute here, folks, but I'll give you a second to warm up before I go there. This is about giving the power of our submission and our transformation over to someone else, namely dark forces. Not that the King of Wands always is, but when the animal in us or the animal in someone else is allowed to make the decisions for our divine body and our divine being and our fullness, that gets into really messy territory, okay? And so here's where I'll take a turn into the personal and the erotic. If you're going to do a dance with the dark masculine, you better be very wholly aware of what is happening in life and who you are. And if you're not, the reason you're probably dancing with the dark masculine, however you present, doesn't matter, is because you really need to learn boundaries. You really need to learn how to stand up for yourself. You really need to learn how to say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, concisely, clearly, and with love, and with knowing. of your power. And it's not the power of force, it's the power of your love, it's the power of what you can give, what is so much better when surrendered instead of taken, because there's an aspect of that which aims to destroy. And here, I'll just get explicitly sexual. When people want to fuck and they want to dominate and they want to do all of that dark and destructive kind of thing, and no shade, by the way, because sometimes I feel like I want to be destroyed. And here's where the erotic meets the spiritual. I want to be destroyed in the way that I want to not matter. I want the experience of divine ecstasy to so overtake me, because that's what the divine lover wants for me. That's why it gave me a human animal body and someone else, my husband, the human animal body counterpart that fits so well and feels so good, because it wants me to experience that. Okay? And I didn't come up with the idea of wanting to be destroyed. And it's not about my physical body actually being destroyed, but it's an energetic feeling of like, quite frankly, the like, I'm a tool for the pleasure of the divinity to move through me. Okay? That just is what it is. But on a low road, that seems physical. It seems real, and it feels like actual domination, and it feels like actual abuse, and it feels like actual repression and hurting and abuse of the feminine body, the feminine spirit, the feminine divinity, and everything else. On a high road of these two archetypes blended together, this is like the animal and the divine meeting and destroying the ego in service to the union experience of love. Okay? It gets that graphic. It gets that erotic. It gets that animal on the high road light attribute of the destroyer. But these two on the low road, again, is like this domination expression against the physical body, against the physical feminine form of the like, you don't know what you want. I'm going to tell you what you want because it's what I want, and what you want doesn't matter. I'm going to destroy your sense of ego for you. That doesn't create an ego death in the good sense, like the death card generally wants. That creates an ego death in the sense of a wound, of harm, of the opposite of love, of separation and of fear and staying away from each other. So this is the way it came out naturally, so I'm going to leave it like that. Let's get the high road. This has taken a really graphic twist, and the last video I recorded was the archetype of the king, and I put a lot of myself into that video, and that's the way my channel's been opening lately, and I'll soon stop explaining that or apologizing for it, but this is new territory for me, and I'm like ready and willing to put my whole self out there, because I embrace the ego death from the inside out. I don't need someone else to destroy me. I delight in destroying myself. Proverbially, physically, and every other way. I don't need anyone else. However, I do. And also I don't. And I'm okay with that paradox, because like I need the mirror of the outer to help me see the inner. And then I do the work on the inner, and I get to witness it in the mirror of the outer. And that's my personal mechanism. And I'm not sure how personal that is. If you found my channel, that's probably likely accurate to you too. But I can't afford to leave any of the pieces of my own personal mirror left unspoken anymore. That's not who I am. It's not what I'm meant to be. So all of the parts of me are going to start showing up in my videos, and that's who and how I am. So 9 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups at the high road. Wow, very cool. 9 of Pentacles. Let's get these zoomed in here. Look at this snake around her. Come on. And the one eye. Come on. This is amazing. All right. Do you know that we are electromagnetic beings? That's the first message in here. We are electromagnetic beings, and sometimes we're literally getting the pulse through us to destroy. I mean, the tectonic plates shift, and volcanoes happen, right? And that happens by pulse. It happens by rhythm. It happens by electromagnetic currents. And that's what I see in this. We get the urge to destroy when it's natural, when it's aligned, when the cosmos and the wisdom within you, because this is the serpent that said, eat the apple, eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, know thyself, wake up, the I. And you could say this is like an Illuminati or whatever type of thing. It is a cult, but to know thyself is divine. And those that bastardize the occult can do whatever they want. But snakes and eyes and all of these things, to me, this is like, yes, please, help me see myself with one eye closed to the world and an inner eye opened to the pulse that's beneath everything, because it's not about what's being destroyed on the outside. It's about what's being made room. It's about the room that's being made for what's going to be coming out from underground, from being birthed within me. The ground of me, the structure of me is splitting open, being destroyed so that I am the lava. I can erupt. Look at that. That's the lava. That's the eruption. I already know who I'm becoming, and I'm just making way for me to come out. God, that's good. 9 of Pentacles, your own garden. And with the 6 of Cups, slow and steady wins the race. Nice and slow is the best way to go. This is about not being cracked open from the outside. Again, it's feeling the pulse, the turtle, and the bringing her this flower. What is it? I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like a lotus, right? I mean, it's some fantastical kind of thing, but this looks like a little lotus flower. Meets some flame in the middle, divine spark. The divine spark in me honors the divine spark in you. And in your own timing, in your own emotional timing, because 6 of Cups is like, be a child. 6, the lovers. Be a child in the garden. And in your own time, you'll find this like divine romance that you'll be willing to be burned through for. Oh gosh. In your own timing, whatever needs to be destroyed will be destroyed, but enjoy the sweetness while it's here. Enjoy what is while it is. Because the journey is ever evolving. And at some point, the earth gives way and something new is born. So it's like, again, be your own lover, soft and slow, playing in the garden. Don't worry about things getting destroyed, because things will get destroyed when they're meant to be destroyed. And if it happens in divine timing, then it's the right thing. I just remembered I have these other 2 cards off to the side here. And I'm feeling like I want to make the thread more succinct here. 7 of Swords and 7 of Wands. And these were the low road. Oh. Yeah, all right. So this 7 of Swords with these runes. And then the 7 of Wands. Wow, look at that figure right there. And all this barbed wire and all the lights. Ooh, yeah. This is about not letting somebody else tell you what your path is. Again, it's that same kind of message here that took the turn for the dominant and the graphic and the sexual. And this is just a little more clear in less of those specific exact terms. Don't let somebody steal your ability to discern for yourself, to choose, to light your own path. If you want to destroy something that other people will be like, oh my God, why are you crazy? Okay, here, let's bring this to the mundane and the really practical. You have a super great job, an awesome career path. You went to school for a long time and you make a lot of money. And also you're dying inside and you hate it. And you want a new career, you want a new job, you want to throw it all away. And everyone around you is like, are you nuts? But the lover in you knows what you want. That's this energy. Don't let anybody else steal your ability to create your own way, to integrate the parts of you that you want to integrate, to be who you are, to seek as you would seek to show up in the world. You get to destroy the idea of who you were supposed to be and create a new one. That's the embodiment of the destroyer. Who are you that needs to be destroyed so who you can be born? So who you want to be can be born. And don't mess around with anybody else. It's all about you. It's only about you. It always has been about you. The world does revolve around you because you're the center of your world. That doesn't mean disregard what harm you may do to others, but that doesn't mean you're responsible for everyone else's feelings either. Hate to be the devil's advocate, but I don't. And I think I'm going to end it there. The destroyer. So maybe I just destroyed the promise of having some clarity at the end of this reading, but I feel like it's there if you wanted to catch the thread. If you like this video, please do hit that like button. I'd appreciate that so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, as I am one by one working through this whole deck, the Archetype cards by Carolyn Miss, an 80-card deck. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see the next one, and I will meet you there. Take care.